Is Doom Foretold as close as we can get to building a prison deck in Pioneer? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And this week, we're heading to Pioneer to play what is probably about the closest thing we have to a prison deck in the format. We're playing some Mardu Doom Foretold, hopefully locking our opponent out of playing permanents with Doom Foretold, and eventually just grinding them out of the game with our endless string of kind of janky enchantments. So let's talk about this deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see Doom Foretold in action. So we start with our namesake card, Doom Foretold, a 4-mana enchantment that says at the beginning of each player's upkeep, they sacrifice a non-land, non-token permanent. If they can't, they discard a card, lose 2 life, and we draw a card, gain 2 life, and make a 2/2 night token with vigilance, and then we gotta sacrifice Doom Foretold. So the idea of our deck is we have a bunch of kind of useless permanents, Hopeless Nightmare, Tiny Bones joins up, discard spells that are 1 mana but they sit out on the battlefield, Trial of Ambition, an Edict, but it's enchantment so it sits on the battlefield, Treacherous Blessing, Disturbing Mirth, Fable of the Mirror Maker for card draw. So we have all these enchantments that give us a little bit of value when we play them, but then they sit out so we can sacrifice them to Doom Foretold. So in theory, our opponent's going to be sacking their really good cards, their bomby creatures, while we're sacking stuff that we kind of already got our value out of, and we don't mind sacking anyway. So that's goal number 1 of the deck. Keep our Doom Foretold going with these random permanents, and just grind away all of our opponent's permanents, and then when Doom Foretold finally pops off, when our opponent runs out of stuff to sacrifice, then they got to discard, we get to gain some life, and make a knight, and draw a card, so we get value out of that too. As far as these cards, like I mentioned, we get removal, we get discard, we got card draw. Disturbing Mirth, one of the new big additions to the deck. Another way we can draw through our deck, and then when we sack it, we get to get a 2/2 thanks to Manifest Red. And then we have Demonic Pact. Demonic Pact is actually one of our win cons. A lot of times we don't actually have to kill our opponent. They just eventually get ground down to nothing and give up. But if we have to kill our opponent, we can combo with Demonic Pact and Harmless Offering. So we have a single Harmless Offering in our deck. You probably know how Cat Pact goes. Demonic Pact, we get to deal 4 damage, something, gain 4 life, make someone discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards, and then eventually you gotta choose lose the game. So the idea is we can play Demonic Pact, get the value out of it, and then once there's only the lose the game mode left, we can hopefully use Beseech the Mirror, sacking one of our random enchantments, to get the Harmless Offering, give it to our opponent. So this isn't the primary plan of our deck, but it is a nice way that we can steal a win out of nowhere when the situation arises. Plus, Demonic Pact works really well with Doom Foretold. We can just play it fairly and gain life and draw cards and make you discard cards, and then sack it to the Doom Foretold eventually, or sack it to Beseech the Mirror and get something else. The rest of the deck, we get some more removal. Thoughtseize to pick apart our opponent's hand, some early game removal and Fatal Push and Torch the Tower, Rite of Oblivion, another way we can sack stuff, Kaya's Wrath, just a one-of, but a good tutor target for our Beseech the Mirror, and then Slaughter Games. In some matchups, it's absolutely insane. If we run into like a combo deck or a deck built around one important card, other matchups, it's not great, but really it's kind of a one-of Beseech the Mirror target, so hopefully we only draw in good games. Then we have our creatures. We have a single creature in Archangel of Wrath, mostly just for life gain against aggro, and then Yarion is our companion. As far as the mana base, pretty straightforward mana fixing stuff. Couple of creature lands at Castle Lochwain. In the sideboard, we got our Yarion in the companion zone. Otherwise, some removal, a Kalitas for aggro, some Duresses, Invoke Despair for grindier matchups, Ghost Vacuum for the graveyards, Heliod's Intervention to get rid of artifacts and enchantments. And that is Doom Foretold for Pioneer. That's our deck for today, so let's jump into some games and see if we can grind away all of our opponent's non-land permanents and win the game eventually somehow. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. It is Doom Foretold time. We are playing what might be the closest thing to a prison deck, I would say, in Pioneer. Some Doom Foretold. Oh, we have our 1 Harmless Offering. All right. Well, maybe this is a Demonic Pact hand. Let's play Savage Triome. Go. I mean, this hand seems good. I mean, Tiny Bones joins up into Treacherous Blessing, into, it might just be Beseech for Demonic Pact. We're not really a Demonic Pact, a Cat Pact deck. We have one harmless offering. This is like a sometimes get out of jail free card. But this hand might just be perfect for it. All right, Jimbo. What do you got, Jimbo? Plains, eh? All right. Well, let's play let's just play Tiny Bones Joins up first. Doesn't really matter. Make a discard. Discards more plains. This must be like mono white. Well, let's play Verge. Might be a Taxes deck. I don't know how that goes. We'd really like to fire off this Treacherous Blessing and not get... Oh, it's Angels. Bishop of Wings. Well, let's play the land and Treacherous Blessing. Draw a few cards. And hopefully our opponent can't follow up with anything too crazy. So we can Beseech. Oh, mono white Devotion. All right. Double Bishop of Wings. Opponent hits us. Ugh. So we can try to turbo out the Cat Pack kill. A little worried about double Bishop of Wings. We could run out the Doom Foretold and just start eating away our opponent's stuff. We want to sack the Treacherous Blessing anyway. We could also Beseech for a Wrath. I think that's a little aggressive. Let's play a Swamp. Get down the Doom Foretold. Lose a life. I mean, Doom Foretold is the reason we're playing this deck, right? And we are set up pretty well for it. Opponent. Bishop of Wings down. And we can still tutor up the Wrath at some point if we need to. This deck is just so unique. It's definitely one of the most unique decks in Pioneer. It's kind of prison, it's kind of control, but it's like enchantment permanent control. Very different than what you consider like blue-white control, like a Drago spell control deck. Splendid Angel. Well, that might make us... Oh, they don't get enough life, do they? Okay. I was thinking we might have to get the Wrath, but our opponent only gained 4, so they don't get the Angel token. Wow. All right, lay down arms to make the Angel token, sure. Well, we will sack this Treacherous Blessing. Want to get rid of that anyway. Draw a Bivouac. Let's just Trial of Ambition. So our opponent should sack Resplendent Angel, I think, because Doom Foretold is non-token. So they get rid of the Doom Foretold if they sack Resplendent Angel and keep their 4/4. Yeah. Opponent sees the line. I'll play the land, get down a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And pass the turn. Doom Foretold gonna pop off. Wow, another is... Ooh, okay. Well, maybe we'll just draw the Demonic Pact. Opponent. Mutavault. And Sarah Paragon. It's probably Wrath time. Opponent gets in, hits us. I think a Wrath might end this game, though. Draw a couple of cards. Yeah. So we just accidentally drew our one Harmless Offering and a Demonic Pact. So I think we just Wrath the board? Ew, Thoughtseize isn't great. Well, let's go to combat. Yeah, we're going to Wrath here. Go to combat, get in, hit you. I imagine our opponent is just going to block, but... Opponent. Wow, takes it? Okay. Well, Beseech the Mirror. Beseech the Mirror has improved this deck so much. Sack the token, get the Kaya's Wrath. We mostly just want to get rid of the Sarah Paragon. Actually, do we need a Wrath? We could get targeted removal, but the Paragon's got to go. If our opponent starts to replay their graveyard, let's just take our one Kaya's Wrath. Play the Kaya's Wrath. Godless Shrine tapped, go. And now it's, time to set up the Cat Pack, I think. Opponent. Yada. That is a good one. Okay, not as good now that we've run Torch to the tower. Kind of wish we had another Fable. Thoughtseize Hopeless Nightmare, not looking great at the moment. I guess Hopeless Nightmare at least does something. Let's Torch the tower, the Giada. Gonna be interesting to see if Giada does anything. An opponent doesn't even wait, scoops it up, and even though opponent's still at 21 life, we had just gained control of that game. Sideboard-wise, I guess we can bring in a touch more removal, and that's about it. I think we kind of just want to do that. We'll go down the Slaughter games. A Thoughtseize? Yeah, let's go down to Thoughtseize. Run it like that. Well, that went pretty well. That is the power of Doom Foretold. It's as close as we get to being able to play Smokestack in a modern format. It's not... you can't get rid of the lands, unfortunately. But discounting that, it's about as close as it gets. Jimbo and the Angels, on to game number 2. We are on the draw. And this hand, seems fine. Removal, Beseech into something... Ooh, and a Thoughtseize. We're just going to lead on the tap land. opponent. This hand actually just seems great. Opponent. Bishop of Wings. Well, we will. Wow, triple Trial of Ambition. All right, Trial of Ambition number 1. This might just be Beseech into a Doom Foretold, actually. Resplendent Angel. Wow, and another Thoughtseize. Well, Thoughtseizes you. This is going to be brutal for our opponent. Take the Kaya's Reconstruction and Trial of Ambition. Get rid of the Resplendent Angel. Oh, the third one. How do you expect the third one? And then Yarion's like a Wrath opponent. Double Mutavault could be an issue. Man, we might just get the Doom Foretold. That might just be the best bet here. Let's see what we draw. I kind of think we just Besiege for Doom Foretold, though. So Doom Foretold will get rid of the Angel. We draw Fable. Well, let's Fabled Passage, crack it. What is our other option? Just Trial of Ambition? That doesn't feel great. Yeah, I mean, we came here to Doom Foretold. We'll take a peek. Maybe there's something better, but I think it's going to be a Doom Foretold. Besiege the Mirror. Sack the Trial of Ambition. Yeah, I mean, I think we just Doom Foretold. Grab a Doom Foretold. Play the Doom Foretold. So now we just got to make sure we can beat the Mutavaults. Doom Foretold to get rid of Resplendent Angel. And then we are taking 4. It seems very hard for our opponent's deck to get any traction against our janky pile of enchantments. We just kill it all. We just kill everything. Found it. Resplendent Angel down. Opponent needs to find like another Kayla's Reconstruction, I think. That's probably their best way to get back in this game. Nick those for our opponent. And Mutavault beats. Well, I mean, we're dropping to 12. It's us. Although we're going to get a 2-2, I think, with the Doom Foretold next turn. And we get a 2-2 with the Fable, so we should be fine. Now, sack the Trial. Find a Triume. Well, that's Thoughtseize. Opponent might just have 2 lands in hand, but we'll see. All right. Land, sure. Well, play the Fable and the Mirror Breaker. I think we play the Triume. Play the Triume. Pass the turn. Another land, that's fine. We got the Fable to filter it away. Opponent. Plains. And, I mean, if they draw some Bomby Flyer, I guess the Trial might take care of it. The Mutavaults complicate things. A Johnny's Last Stand. Whenever a creature Planeswalker you control dies, you may sack it to make a 4/4. When you have to discard it, make a 4/4. Huh. Interesting. Well, let's discard a couple lands. I didn't know people played this card. Make a Treasure. And let's grab the Yarion and play the Verge past the turn. Yarion resetting the Fable seems reasonable. An opponent scoops it up, and that was not even close. Doom Foretold is such a brutal card. Like, our opponent they couldn't do anything. We just killed everything. Killed it all with Doom Foretold. We didn't even have to win. We just had to kill enough stuff that our opponent gave up. Well, sweet. Sweet. Let's keep doing that. It is Pioneer Prison time. We are Doom Foretolding, and we're going to keep this. We needed one more land, but once we hit a land, this hand becomes pretty good. All right, there's a land. That's good. Fable Passage, swing at red mana, especially against aggro. Oh, Rakdos? Ooh, demons. All right, this should be interesting. Can we keep up with the demons? Let's snag a mountain and Godless Shrine tapped. We don't even really want a Treacherous Blessing yet. We're just gonna discard a bunch to hand size. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Okay. Well, let's torch the Goblin. Disturbing Mirth. Is it worth it? So we play a Swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think it's still worth it. We're gonna have to discard 1 to hand size, but we want an enchantment on the battlefield. Discard the Blood Crypt. All right, that worked out. Now we have Disturbing Mirth that we can use to sack the Blessing. We can also beseech off of it if we need to. Opponent. Blade Step Pathway, and there's the Unholy Annex. Well, I think perhaps it just might be Demonic Pact time. I think we might be on the Demonic Pact plan. Hopefully our opponent can't kill it. They're Rakdos, so they are like the worst color for killing it. And then we have the Besiege. We need to not get Thoughtseize, but we have the Besiege. Oh. Okay, this is actually hilariously fine. Trial of Ambition for the win. Opponent, I think you will discard 2 cards. Wow. We come tacked for the Velgavoth matchup. So, Disturbing Mirth. Actually, no, we just need to do this first. Trial of Ambition. Ouch. And out of here, Velgavoth. Ooh, the cleanest of answers. And then Disturbing Mirth. Get rid of the Treacherous Blessing. And, well, play the land in Thoughtseize. That was a pretty good turn. I guess we take up Nixilis. I mean, I think we are pretty much... Yeah, there's the demon. We have the Fatal Push for that. I think we're pretty much in on the Demonic Pact plan. Let's hit our opponent for 4, gain back a bit of life. Play the Verge. Tiny Bones joins up. Make you discard. And Fatal Push the token. The question is, do we just have to do it now? Yeah, I think we just do it. I think the biggest way this goes wrong is our opponent finding a Thoughtseize. So I think we just get the Harmless Pack, our one of fun of, and opponent. Do we have a gift for you? All right. Opponent, would you like to draw 2 cards? You have 1 turn to get rid of the pact. You should not have made the deal with the devil about it. It always comes time to pay up, opponent, case of the Stash Skeleton. They could have torched the tower. That is a way they could get rid of it. They Fatal Push, but it doesn't salve till their end step. So I don't think this is fast enough. An opponent. Invoke Despair seems good. We want ways that can kill a Velgavoth, I guess, essentially. Heliod's Intervention could also be good. Do we want the Slaughter Games? Slaughter Games is actually probably worth it. Duress also seems good. So we can go down the Archangel of Wrath. Maybe a Torch the Tower. The thing is, we can't cut too many Hopeless Nightmares Tiny Bones joins up, because we need them just to be on the battlefield for, like, Disturbing Mirth and Doom Foretold. The one Harmless Offering was really good that game. Maybe, like, is the cheap removal bad? It can potentially Fizzle a Transmogrify, and they have the Demon token, so it does do something. We have too many cards to bring in. 83 card special? Maybe it's time for the 83 card special. Maybe we go 1 Heliod's Intervention. And maybe, you know what, let's go down 1 Demonic Pact. Let's run it like that. All right, on to game number 2. Opponent, Rakdos Transmogrify. One of the most interesting developments in Pioneer since the last round of bannings has been to see what has happened with Rakdos, because Rakdos is still around. It is just split up into a bunch of sub-archetypes, with Transmogrify being one of the popular ones. Demon's also popular. Opponent, Den of the Bugbear, and gonna Thoughtseize. We need to hit lands. All the Fatal Pushes, I guess, should be good at fizzling Transmogrifies at least. I don't know what our opponent takes. All right, gonna take 1 of the Besieges. Well, play the Verge and pass turn. Opponent, Sokenzan, and even more Thoughtseizing. Takes another Besiege. Well, let's play the Vents. Pass the turn. Not up to the fastest start, but we're not the fastest deck, right? There's a Fable. I mean, we got a Fatal Push for that. Ooh, wow. Okay. We're gonna make you play fairly, opponent. We're just gonna take the Transmogrifies. All right. How does our opponent beat us now? So take the Transmogrifies. They have Unholy Annex, Fable the Mirrorbreaker, Urbas Forge. I mean, I guess they still have a reasonable number of threats, but we did get rid of their most explosive play, and they actually had it lined up too. 1 more land. Opponent gonna do some looting. Well, now we would like to draw 1 more land, and Invoke Despair would be kinda sweet. I wonder if our opponent can win. Can our opponent win without Transmogrify? Double Case of the Stash Skeleton. Blood Crypt untapped, and I guess we just invoke. Not the greatest invoke of all time, but get rid of a Dork. Get rid of a case. Draw. Ooh, okay. Second invoke's not bad. Not a bad one. Opponent land and Den of the Bugbear. Okay, that's awkward. Hits us down to 12. Huh. Torch the tower to get rid of the reflections. Grab a Yarion. So if our opponent Den of the Bugbears, we can Fatal Push it. Ooh, Fountain Port's kind of good. Opponent. Den of the Bugbear. Well, definitely going to kill that. Opponent knew we had the Fatal Push, so I guess they're just okay with that happening. Opponent gets it, hits us. Well, I mean, let's invoke Despair. Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be super close. Get rid of a dork, get rid of the case, play a Verge, pass the... We could use a permanent. We have this Yarion, but we have nothing to blink. Opponent, land, hits us. So if we trial, they're going to... Yeah, whatever. Trial of Ambition. Opponent can sack it, that's fine. If they sack it... Okay, so now we should be free to... Oh no, they made a fish, interesting. Alright, well in that case, we'll just Yarion. Blink the trial. I thought they were just going to sack it to draw a card. Because now we just get to Yarion, blink it, and we still get rid of the skeleton. And our opponent kind of wasted a Fountain Port activation. Alright, skeleton down. Now they have nothing to sack to the Fountain Port either. Urbras Forge. Okay, that is a clock. And then sack. We have this Restless Fence, which is kind of nice. Alright, opponent's going to sack to draw. Sure. Tap land. Forge. Well, okay. Definitely gonna Restless Fence because we need to filter away one of these lands. Hit ya. Discard the plains. Come on, deck. Well, Treacherous Blessing's kind of sweet. Hit you to 3. Is this 2? Yeah, we're gonna do it. It's kind of greedy, but drawing 3 is just so many cards. Tap land, go. All right, opponent. Can you deal with the Ariad? Can you kill us? It has come down to this. Your doom has been foretold. Opponent! That doesn't change the math. Takes the torch the tower. So they can make the token. Attack for 2. Alright. They can also just make a fish and die. That is legal. I think they had to make the token, sack the token, draw, try to hit a removal spell for Yariad, because doesn't this mean we just attack with Yarion and you die, I think? Can you get 5 damage out of a torch to the tower somehow? No. The answer is no. Well, yeah, ground him out, taking down one of the new top decks in the format. Doom Foretold! Doom Foretold is feeling pretty good right now. It's feeling pretty good. Oh, yeah, we can't keep this one lander. Oh, we even have Treacherous Blessing, but yeah, that's too risque. This we can keep. Let's go Harmless Offering, I think. Slaughter games, especially when the info from Thoughtseize could be relevant. We got to be able to beat a Graveyard Trespasser, right? Yeah, let's take Thoughtseize. Would be nice to draw something we could Disturbing Mirth off of. Opponent, tap land. Treacherous Blessing. Well, land. Go. We need land. We need a land. We need an untap land. Opponent, land and passes. All right. That's an untap land. Treacherous Blessing. Draw us a few cards. Okay. And there's a Trial of Ambition to deal with the Graveyard Trespasser. So now we're in... One of the biggest upsides of this deck is we are really good at blanking removal spells. Because we just don't believe in creatures. Ooh, another Disturbing Mirth. Well, play the tap land. And I think we just get rid of this Graveyard Trespasser. Take our beats down to 15. But threat 1 dealt with. Next turn we can hopefully Myth away... Or Mirth away... Mirth away the Treacherous Blessing. Well, Disturbing Mirth. Nice to not have to worry about Orcish Bowmaster. One of the upsides of playing Pioneer. Let's sack Treacherous Blessing, draw a couple cards. Yeah, I mean, run it back. Disturbing Mirth, number 2. Disturbing Mirth. Draw a couple cards. We'll take the Hopeless Nightmare. I'm pretty sure this is just gonna die anyway. Untap land and Thoughtseize down to 10. We are kind of killing ourselves here a bit. Oh, Enduring Curiosity. Oh, they're a flash deck. Interesting. All right, Enduring Curiosity is actually kind of annoying, especially backed by all this removal. Huh. Yeah, there's a fatal push. What do we do about Enduring Curiosity? Opponent gets in, hits us down to 6. And draws a card. Opponent's deck is interesting. Well, let's Fable the Mirror Breaker. And tap land. I think we just need to... They're going to kill the Goblin, and when they kill the Goblin, then we can kill the Curiosity. All right, so there's the go for the throw. Sure. But that turns on our Fatal Push to get rid of this Curiosity. Oh! Oh. All right, the odds of us being dead increasing greatly. That's unfortunate. Wow, we're going to lose to Enduring Curiosity. Oh. Found it. Mutavault. We draw land. Well, let's discard Slaughter Games, discard a Beseech. Now we need to draw multiple things. Tiny Bones Joins Up doesn't do it. All right, so what can we do to not be dead? I mean, I guess it's got to be Beseech, right? I don't even know if Beseech saves us here. So play the land. Tiny Bones Joins Up. Make you discard. Yeah, I don't know if we can stabilize this one or not. Found it. Pitches the land. Well, Besiege the Mirror. Sack the Mirth. See if we can find something. Let's manifest a Demonic Pack. Oh, Rite of Oblivion could be good. So Rite of Oblivion answers this, and then we need our face down card to live. Is there a way we can guarantee beating both? So if we Doom Foretold, they sack Enduring Curiosity. Actually, do we just take another Disturbing Mirth? Yeah, that's probably bad. All right, let's take Rite of Oblivion. Sack the Tiny Bones Joins Up. This is the best we could do. Pass the turn. Hope that our face down creature... Ah, that does it. Yep. All right. Enduring Curiosity and Pioneer kind of popping off. Flash might actually be a tricky matchup for our deck. We're very good at killing things, but we're mostly good at killing things at sorcery speed. So opponents just like Dimir Lash? Dimir midrange? I don't know if we change a ton, really. The Duresses do seem good. Maybe go down the... do we need the Wrath? Let's go down the Kaya's Wrath. Let's go down the Slaughter Games. Let's try like that. This should be an interesting matchup. Opponent's deck looks kind of sweet. Have not seen Enduring Curiosity in Pioneer, but it looks super good that game. The funny thing is, I thought we were in really good shape that game. I thought we managed to, like, we picked apart our opponent's hand, we had the removal, but then Enduring Curiosity, pretty much by itself, swung that game for our opponent. Maybe Enduring... I thought Enduring Curiosity was good. Maybe it's even better than I thought, though. Maybe it's just like a... Maybe you can just play it as a standalone card. Well, let's shock ourselves to rest. See what our opponent's working with over there. Flood Pit Drowner, Caustic Bronco, and a negate. Well, I thought sees you. Take the Bronco. We are kind of killing ourselves, but that's fine. I think we got a Fabled Passage here. Pass the turn. We can get down the Fable next turn, hopefully. Well, okay. So much for the Fable plan. Opponent going to Duress us. Tags the Fable. Well, crack this for a plane. So now we need another land. Grab the planes. Okay, that is a land. Play the Verge. Grab Yarion. Pass the turn. Well, now we get to decide. Doom Foretold, Demonic Pact. It's probably Demonic Pact. Well, Swamp and Demonic Pact. See if they drew a counter. Hold. Hold. All right, Demonic Pact down. Opponent, Flood Pit Drowner. Sure. But hopefully we can get some sweet, sweet pack value. Opponent passing. Let's start with drawing 2 cards. All right, opponent, Fairy Mastermind. Awkward. Sure. Well, let's torch the tower, the Mastermind. Actually, you know what? Maybe we do. Yeah, let's do it. Fable Passage, crack it. I think we're gonna run it out. Grab a Swamp and Doom Foretold. So we are gonna have to sack our Demonic Pack. But that's kind of fine, because we can trigger it first. And... Ooh, Brazen Bar with the Demonic Pack. That's kind of brutal. Opponent gets in, hits us. Yeah, it's super brutal. Yeah, that is awkward. All right, the Doom Foretold backfire. Well, let's play Demonic Pact again. Blood Crypt tapped. All right, Demonic Pact, it's up to you. I'm gonna flash in the Brazen Borrower. I think we just killed that. So get rid of the Brazen Borrower. Oh, losing that Doom Foretold was so bad. That's the risk of playing it without a ton of permanents. Opponent gonna fire up the Muta Vault, and yeah, down to 8 for now. Well, let's start with draw 2 cards. All right, Trial of Ambition, something at least. Let's play the Trial. Opponent found in a null. Well, that is awkward. We still actually can't play Yarion. Well, play the tap land past the turd. Oh, man, our opponent might be able to just top deck their way through this. Opponent untaps, draws. Thoughtseize to take the Yarion. All right, we are in a fragile spot here. Opponent land. That annul was really huge for our opponent. Hits us down to 6. Well, 4 damage to the Flood Pit Drowner. We need to draw something or we're gonna die to our Demonic Pact. Haunted Ridge is not it. Play the land, because we're probably gonna have to Castle Logwayne past the turd. Oh boy, not like this. Opponent fires up the Muta Vault. We're running out of time. Opponent gets and hits us down to 6. And Hive of the Eye Tyrant making things worse. Oh no, come on, Castle Logwayne. Duress is not it. Well, we will make you discard 2 cards. Come on, deck. Harmless Offering off the top. One time. Disturbing, okay. I mean, we still need to top deck something, but this is a way that we can get rid of the Demonic Pact. So we're not fully dead. So we can sack Demonic Pact, draw 2 cards. Come on. Oh, there's a Harmless Offering. Oh. Okay, so I think what we do is Besiege the Mirror, sack the Mirth. Take I guess Tiny Bones joins up. Yeah, I mean, take Fatal Push, not cast it, play the Verge, and pass the turn. The problem is if our opponent top decks a counter spell to protect the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, opponent fires up the Mutavault. Fires up the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. This is fine, goes to combat attacks. Sure, so we will Fatal Push the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Block the Mutavault, stay at 3. Not dead yet. And opponent, oh, more Mutavaults, that's not great. Okay, more Fatal Pushes, that's better. Well, play the land, pass the turn. This game, though, opponent untaps, draws. Fires up the Mutavault. Goes to combat attacks. Well, we will Fatal Push. Opponent passes. Well, let's Duress you. Floodplates Drowner. Well, let's Besiege the Mirror. We don't die this turn, right? And we have a Harmless Offering. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going back to the pack plan. Take the Demonic Pact, play the Demonic Pact. So our opponent can flash in the Drowner and hit us to 1. But then hopefully the Demonic Pact can stabilize us. Found it. Drowner. Untaps. Hits us. Well, okay, step 1. Kill this Drowner, gain back some life. Torch the tower. All right, pass the turn. Are we gonna get there? Is there a chance we get there? Opponent passes. Well, let's draw 2 cards. Opponent's gonna Fairy Mastermind. In response, torch the tower. So we get to draw 2. I mean, I think we got to do it. Thoughtseize you. It's a land. Harmless Offering. The Demonic Pact. Bivouac, go. About it. Gets to make us discard our Triumph. That is fine. But there's only one choice left. I cannot believe we somehow stabilize this game. Opponent taps. Can you beat the Pact? Reading, realizing what horrible choice they must make. Enduring Curiosity, sure. Well, that's a Castle Logwayne draw, down to 2. And untap Hopeless Nightmare, and Godless Shrine, and yeah, just pass. I mean, this is a game, right? This is game. A choice must be made. Opponent chooses, you lose the game, and wow, that is a tricky matchup. We probably want a fatal push, don't we? I think we want another fatal push. What do we cut, though? I mean, the demonic pack came through. That was, man, this has been a very interesting match. I will give our opponent's deck credit. It has been a very interesting, close match. Game number 3, rather. Yeah, I mean, we can't keep the Zero Lander. This we can keep. I guess we just put the Tiny Bones joints up to the bottom. All right, we will see. Opponent, Swamp, and Thoughtseize. Start with a tap Blood Crypt, I think. Go. Opponent, Gloom Lake Verge. And Godless Shrine, tapped, go. Flood Pit's Drowner. Yeah, I think we just fatal push it. While your opponent's tapped down. Well, threat 1 dealt with. Found it. Mutavault and Graveyard Trespasser. Alright, yeah, that's a concern. Found it. Eats the Drowner. Well, we draw a White Source. Let's just play the Verge, grab Yarion. Oh, but this Trespasser's gonna flip. This is gonna come down to us resolving this Doom Foretold, and my confidence level not extremely high, because we know our opponent's deck has a lot of disruption. Caustic Bronco. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Opponent gets in, hits us. Losing that Doom Foretold might be us losing our lives here. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 15. Restless Vent, not great. Well, play the land. The Siege. We don't have the Wrath in the deck anymore. Maybe that was too greedy to cut the Wrath. I mean, I guess it's Fatal Push, but oh, this is not good. This is not good. Vote it on taps. I don't know if we're getting out of this one. We might have finally met our match with a very weird aggro draw from this flash deck. Opponent gets in, hits us. Doesn't bother with the saddle. Graveyard Trespasser going to trigger. So we're taking, what, 7? Oh, and they draw the Curiosity. Okay, not great. Down to 8. And Spyglass. Okay. Our opponent's deck is looking much more creaturey than it did in the first games. Definitely regretting cutting. Oh, no. And they get to play the Curiosity next turn. Treacherous Blessing, eh? That is not going to do it. So, I mean, Fatal Push the Bronco? Treacherous Blessing. Yeah, I think we're dead. Treacherous Blessing. Draw some cards. Then Enduring Curiosity is the seal deal. Duress doesn't do it. Tap land. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No Wrath in the deck. Opponent gets in. Well, I mean, Enduring Curiosity showing out in Pioneer today. Our win streak is over thanks to thanks to Dimir and a Duress. We're dead, right? There's not a card in our deck that we can draw that gets us out of this. Definitely not a Godless Shrine. Well, interesting. Opponent's deck, I think they got us a little bit. I thought their deck, from what we saw in Game 1 and Game 2, it felt more like a control deck, right? Where they had a bunch of counters, a bunch of Thought Seizes. All we really saw was like the Enduring Curiosities, very few creatures. So we took out the Wrath during sideboarding. Turns out our opponent's actually kind of a curve-out creature deck. I don't know, it's a weird mixture of stuff, but taking out that Wrath, really, really rough, because we could have tutored for the Wrath. Maybe it wouldn't have worked anyway because of counters and discard, but yeah, their deck looked very different this game than the first 2 games, and paid off for our opponent. Looks like we're actually playing a Yu-Gi-Oh! This round. This hand's fine. On the draw, hopefully our opponent's not too aggro. If they have a 1-drop, we might be in trouble. You know what? Let's just play the Schwamp. We can play the Swamp this turn, leave up Fatal Push, Triome next turn, Verge the following turn. Actually, let's play Fabled Passage. Yeah, it's Fabled Passage. This lets us Fatal Push a 3-drop. Since we've drawn another untapped land while opponent's just passing, well, maybe we just wait then. We can't really Treacherous Blessing. Play the Verge and pass the turn. Now we might end up cycling this Triumph. Opponent, Mutavault, and Fable. Unholy Annex. Gotta be one of those, right? Or an Unstoppable Slasher. That's pretty good. Well, okay, so we probably need to kill that. Let's Fable Passage, grab a Plains, and do a little pushing of the Slasher. And then we can Trial of Ambition to get rid of it forever. Is that better than Demonic Pact? Yeah, you know what? Let's go greed mode. Let's go greed mode. Demonic Pact. I mean, in theory, the Demonic Pact can still kill the Slasher, right? Still gonna have the counter on it next turn. So as long as this lives, we still get rid of the Slasher and we get the Pact down. And we have the Beseech the Mirror. Ugh, more slashing. All right, so step 1, kill the Slasher. Step 2, Trial of Ambition to get rid of the Slasher. And you know what? Let's just keep on. So many removal spells to kill these Slashers. 4 removal spells, but we've killed 2 Slashers. Play the tap land past the turn. Thoughtseize is scary. We might need to get the Yari on. Just have a backup if they find a Thoughtseize. Opponent, Fables. Well, let's draw 2 cards. Hopeless Nightmare, eh? Well, snag Yari on. And let's match our opponent's Fable with a Fable of our own. All right, so now our opponent needs like double Thoughtseize. Best case, Beseech the Mirror, Harmless Offering, GG. Worst case, Yarian blink the Demonic Pact and keep generating value. Actually, Yarian here is kind of insane. Double Trial, Demonic Pact, and a Fable. Opponent, Fatal Push and Unholy Annex just really needs the lands. Opponent finds a Haunted Ridge. I mean, I guess worst case, Treacherous Blessing draws us cards to hopefully find us an answer to our own pack. If they really have double Thoughtseize, oh, that's so insane. About it. No, there's no way. There's no way. Wait, they have... Okay, they gotta have 2 then, right? There's no way you take the Yarian over Beseech. Does our opponent just not understand what's happening here? Sure, we'll take it. They gotta have another Thoughtseize. Did our opponent just sign their own Unholy Annex? Okay, not a Thoughteize. There's no window on your upkeep to get rid of the maybe our opponent just... Wow. Our opponent chose unwisely. Discard a couple cards. Okay, this is going to be way easier than I thought. I mean, that's why we put the Yarian in hand, so we'd have a backup for Thoughtseize, and it's going to pay off here. I mean, that's just game. That's just straight up game. I'm surprised. Maybe they don't realize that we could have one harmless offering in our deck. Discard Hopeless Nightmare. Discard the land. None of this really matters because we're just about to win this game. 2 lands. Well, we will Beseech the Mirror. Bargain it. Sack the Trial of Ambition, and the fun of, super cute little cat. Opponent, would you like a Demonic Pact? And we'll play the land, and we'll go attacking to make a treasure, because we might as well, and hit ya, and pass the turn at opponent. The choice is yours. There's one, we left one for you. We left one choice, opponent, and opponent chooses to lose the game, and well, that's how you Yu-Gi-Oh. That's how you Yu-Gi-Oh. So opponent playing demons. So this is Rakdos variant number 2, right? We played against Transmogrify. Now we're up against demons. Invoke Despair seems pretty good. Fatal Push seems fine. What are we cutting is the question. Archangel Wrath seems pretty bad. We can probably trim like a Tiny Bones joins up, Slaughter Games, and actually, you know what? We might want the Ghost Vacuums too. We managed to deal with the Slashers last game, but being able to exile them is also... Maybe we go 1 Ghost Vacuum. Torch the Tower is good because it exiles. That's better than Fatal Push. Do we have to cut like a Fable? That sounds absurd. Maybe we go on 1 Demonic Pact and... All right, 1 more Tiny Bones joins up. Hopefully that's fine. Run it like that. Well, on to game number 2. Yeah, all right. We'll keep this. We'll keep it. We need to hit lands, but this has some pretty sweet mid-game power. Opponent, Black Cleave Cliffs, and Thoughtseize. Takes, okay. Thoughtseize the Thoughtseize. Ugh. The problem with Harmless Offering, it's really nice to have it floating in the deck, just in case. Not something we ever really want to draw, though. Blood Tithe Harvester. Well, there's a Blood Crypt. Well, let's play the land untapped. Get down the Hopeless Nightmare. Make you discard. And we'll see what our opponent does. If they have another discard spell or something, we can at least cast the Torch to the Tower. We really need one more land. Or 2. Wow. Pitches an Unholy Annex Ritual Chamber. I feel like this is maybe the biggest reason to play our opponent's deck. We're gonna wait. There could be a Slasher. We'll take the 3. Because if they play a Slasher, we really want to exile it. Ooh, Fable. All right, well, Yeah, I mean, torch the Gabo. Draw even more Hopeless Nightmares. Well, okay, Hopeless Nightmare, I guess. Ah, boy, we need to draw land. We need to draw land. I almost think there's an argument to sacking the Hopeless Nightmare to the Torch the Tower just to get the Scry. The problem is, we're trying to get to the Doom Foretold, and we really need the Hopeless Nightmare on the battlefield. Oh, opponent had Invoked Despair. We really need it on the battlefield for the Doom Foretold. So that's the only reason. Oh, and there's the Slasher. Opponent played around it. Oh, we might be in trouble. Land? No. Fatal Push. You know what? You know what? We're gonna be kind. Opponent, would you like a land? GG. That game we did not hit lands and did not find an answer to the Slasher, and the Slasher is such a fast clock. On to game number 3, we are on the play. Who's the best Yu-Gi-Oh player? That's the question we're answering here. All right, we'll keep this. This is fine. We got the Fatal Push. Hopefully we don't get Thoughtseize too heavily. We'd love to get down the Fable, but our mana's good. We're gonna hit our land drops, and at least we can kill something. Well, Sabi Dry Up. Go. About it. Blackleaf Glyphs. Duress. Well, there goes our Fable, I'm sure. It's gots to be. I don't know, maybe they want to try to snowball a Slasher or something. Yeah, takes the Fable. Trial of Ambition. Well, let's just keep on trioming. I mean, I guess we can. So maybe we can Trial of Ambition into Beseech. Get like a Doom Foretold, maybe. We kind of want our opponent to play a creature here. So we can get down this trial. Instead, even more Thoughtseizing. I mean, oh, takes a Trial of Ambition. Interesting. Well, play the Haunted Ridge and grab the Yarion. Opponent must have a Slasher and is just like, I'm going to get in a hit with this Slasher. That would make the most sense. Pound at land. Yeah. Slasher. We draw an Invoke Despair. Good card. A little slow here. Well, play the land. Beseech the Mirror. I think we got to take Kaya's Wrath. Take the Kaya's Wrath past the turn. See what happens. Well, we're taking the big one. We're taking the big one. Oh, man. One Slasher hit is so brutal. Yeah. Hello, opponent. Blood Crypt untapped. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Well, that was kind of the perfect draw, right? We had all the answers we needed. We had a hand to beat it. Opponent, double discard. Turn 1 discard, turn 2 discard, Slasher Bloodletter. Not a lot we could do about that, sadly. I don't think there's anything we could have done differently. I guess we got all the removal, all the Thoughtseizes. No payoffs or card draw. Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess we take the Kaido. Well, I mean, if we draw lands, life becomes kind of good because we have a triple removal spells to kill these ninjas. Opponent gonna duress. Take probably the Fatal Push. That is not exactly a red source. Well, tap land, go. Slitherblade for our opponent. And Thousand Faith Shadow. I mean, I think Saturu's the thing we need to kill most. Doom Foretold. Okay. That could do something in a minute once we actually draw another land. Bone it. Underground River. We need red mana so bad. Like, if we draw red mana, I think we're in good shape. If we don't draw red mana, all bets are off. Opponent. Alright, opponent just hits us down to 16. I mean, the thing we're going to kill for sure is Saturu. We don't want our opponent drawing cards. Silver for Master. Come on, deck. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right, now life is much better. So we can torch the tower to get rid of the Silver for Master. We still got the Fatal Push. We might be okay now. We might be okay. We found the red mana just in time. As long as we can keep our opponent from drawing cards. Another Kaido off the top scary. All right, there's a Saturu. Sure. I mean, that we're just going to kill. Down to 14. Hopeless Nightmare. Well, play the Hopeless Nightmare, make you discard. This also means the Doom Foretold might do something eventually. Ooh, Silver for All right, we're going to leave out this Torch the Tower. If their discard is Silver for Master, the card they're holding on to has to be pretty great. Opponent. Okay, another Saturu. Oh, greedy, greedy. I think we kill this Thousand Faith Shadow. Take 1. Well, play the Doom Foretold. Play the tap land. Pound it. Gotta sack that Slither Blade. So we can sack the Hopeless Nightmare. It would be nice if we could draw one more, another permanent to keep it going. Pound it. Passes. Well, all right. We get to do some scrying, which is actually kind of helpful. We'll keep the Hopeless Nightmare. That does keep the Doom Foretold train running, hopefully. Hopeless Nightmare. They could have counters, I guess. I don't know if you want to counter a Hopeless Nightmare. Okay, they're going to bounce Doom Foretold. Sure. I mean, we'll just replay it anyway. Get rid of that Saturu, and this is where we want to be. This is exactly where we want to be. Opponent on taps and draws. And scoops it up. That went pretty well. So ninjas, we just want all the cheap removal possible. Maybe Kalitas? Kalitas could be worth it. Basically, we just got to be able to keep our opponent from ninjutsuing and sticking card advantage. That is the way to play this matchup, I think. Just kill everything. Cut one more of something. Yeah, let's go down one Demonic Pack. That's fine. All right. This hand's risky in the matchup. It's definitely risky. Ooh, all right, tap land is good. Because his hand's not especially fast. It does powerful things once it gets going. Opponent. Oh, there's the Saturo. How about a Fatal Push? Fatal Push off the top. Ornithopter to draw a card. Opponent. Popping off a bit. Oh, torch the tower, but nothing to sack. Play the Verge. Oh, I really don't want to play that, but I guess we have to. All right, play the Mirth. Play the Mirth for no value. We need something to bargain off of to kill the Saturu. What ninjas do we have? Silver for Master. Draws a card. Yep. Hits us down to 15. This also means we can't kill the Saturu, and they draw more. Oh, opponent's popping off. Yeah, that's bad. Now we can't even kill the. Oh my goodness, this keeps getting worse. Oh god. Well, this is what we were worried about, keeping a hand without that cheap removal spell, that we could just fall too far behind. And that, wow, Saturu is actually very good in our opponent's deck. I mean, I guess they had the right hand for it with the Ornithopter. If it wasn't for the Ornithopter, this would look a lot different. Takes the Treacherous Blessing. Well, all right, so we will torch the tower. Bargain. Kill the Silver Fur Master. Take, I guess, a Fable, not that it really matters. Triumph to the bottom. Play the Verge. Hopeless Nightmare, make you discard. This does potentially set us up to Wrath next turn. Our opponent's just drawn a lot of cards this game. That's the difference between game 1 and game 2. Game 1, we kept the Satura off the battlefield. So far, this is what? Drawn 3 cards, I believe? That's insane for a 2-drop. So good. Opponent. Wow, going to Duress. Takes the Doom Foretold. All right, and all the discard. I mean, I guess that's the power of drawing so many extra cards. Take Numa for our opponent. And a Ducci Silencer to draw a card. Discards a card to kill our face-down creature. Ornithopter's back. Draws a card. There's not even a once per turn restriction. Well, all right. Besiege the Mirror. Sack the Hopeless Nightmare. We really need this to work. If it works, we got a shot. If they have Spell Pierce. Wow. Yeah. That probably does it. We'll stick around one more turn, I guess, because we have Kalitas, but I mean, this Saturu has looked amazing. Gets in, hits us. Down to 7. Well, play Kalitas. Pass the turn. Unfortunately, can't even block the Saturu because it has Menace. It's an Archangel. Drawing a land for they drew a lot of dresses this game. Opponent gets in with Saturu, hits us down to 5. White Source? White Source would be good. Opponent land. I mean, I guess we grab Yarion and pass? We can't attack because then the Silencer... Ornithopter draws a card. Because then the Silencer just kills the Kalitas. Well, that's why you got to be able to kill this. The Saturu was drawn like... Oh, yep. This is where things... Why can't we concede? Why can't we concede? It made us sit through it. We need to just have the cheap... That Saturu was insane. Did that Saturu draw 7 cards? I want to say it drew 7 cards. We cannot let that happen. At least we're on the play for game number 3. That's a bit of good news. Oh, okay. I mean, this is fine, although it is awkward that all of our lands come into play tapped. It would be very nice if we could be thought seizing on one. Cannot get away from this Harmless Offrig. For being a single card in an 80 card deck, we end up with this in our opening hand way more than we would like. I mean, I guess maybe there's the thing is, the rest of this hand is good enough that it's worth keeping. Like, imagine this was a 6-card hand with no Harmless Offering. We would snap keep. Well, let's thought seize you. Yeah, let's take the Spell Pierce. Play the tap land. Because we want to be able to get down this Fable. We'll see if our opponent draws a land. Okay, Slitherblade, sure. Play a Torch the Tower. And Fable Passage, go. Opponent's got to find a land. They got to find a land or the ninjas might be in trouble. An opponent does not find the land and scoops it up. Well, we got to see the full ninja experience. Yeah, that was relatively fun. We got to see the full ninja experience. We got to see the deck. Game 1, kind of do nothing. Game 2, that's the draw that makes you want to play ninjas. Just seeing that Satoru with Ornithopter Ninjutsu draw so many cards. And then game 3, perhaps searching for that draw again. A little bit of mulliganing, not enough lands. So what do we learn this week about Doom Foretold in Pioneer? And record-wise, we went 6-4, so a 60% win rate, which is pretty good. And I gotta say, overall, I love this deck. It's just a super fun deck to play. It's got a ton of synergies. It's kind of controlling, kind of a prison deck, but it's just like a fun synergistic deck. As far as how strong it is, I think it's a bit matchup dependent. Actually, it's a little bit draw dependent too. One of the downsides of the deck is we are 80 cards and we are 3 colors, and we did have some games where we just like didn't find the right colors of land soon enough. Or maybe even a bigger issue is if we run into aggro and we keep a hand that doesn't have Fatal Push or Torch the Tower, sometimes we're just too slow and get run over before we get things set up. And those are the kind of things that happen a little bit more often with a Yarion deck, just because we got 80 cards instead of 60 cards. So the odds of us having the Fatal Push or the Torch the Tower a little bit lower. The good news is the deck can really grind once it gets going. We got to see Doom Foretold be absolutely absurd against some decks. And probably the best one was our first match against Angels, where Doom Foretold kind of just won the game by itself, making our opponent sacrifice the really strong Angels and eventually just make it so they couldn't play anything, and then eventually it would run out and then we do it again. So Doom Foretold's so good in those matchups, and I gotta say, Beseech the Mirror is a huge deal to this deck. I know it's not a brand new card, it's almost a year old now, but compared to past Doom Foretold decks, Beseech the Mirror is just absolutely a game changer. It just gives us a really easy way to get whatever we need. That's where we can get our Slaughter games in the matchup where it's good. That's where we can snag our Kaya's Wrath when we really need it. And we just have so much useless sacrifice fodder sitting on the battlefield that it's kind of a free roll to beseech it in the deck. In fact, beseeching can actually be an upside if we're getting rid of a Demonic Pact or something. So I love this deck. I think it's relatively competitive, but it is a very slow, grindy deck. It's not a deck that, for the most part, is going to give you those like fast free wins that you can get with some other decks. I guess the closest we have is just Doom Foretold locking someone, but in general, we're not going to accidentally just kill someone on turn 4. But if you like decks that can grind and got a bunch of sneaky sacrifice synergies and beseech the mirror to find the right toolbox card at the right moment, probably a deck that you'd have a lot of fun with in Pioneer. So anyway, that's been Doom Foretold. That's been our Much Abrew for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.